Okay, let's dive right in. We're going to be looking at a really powerful passage from the Quran that honestly provides a blueprint for what it means to be a community of faith, and this is especially true when that community's very identity is being challenged.
So this is the core question we're exploring. I mean, really think about it. Put yourself in their shoes. You're part of a young, growing community, and suddenly one of your most fundamental daily practices just changes. How do you find your footing again? Well, this passage offers a timeless answer.
So, let's set the scene. You have the early Muslim community in Medina. They had just been commanded to change their direction of prayer, the Qiblah, from Jerusalem all the way to the Kaaba in Makkah. Now, this caused immense confusion, and it even led to mockery from other groups. It was a genuine test of who they were.
With a shift this big, things felt, well, a little shaky. The community was really looking for some divine reassurance, a new anchor to ground them. And the verses that followed gave them exactly that, reminding them that the greatest blessing wasn't a direction, but the Prophet Muhammad himself, who was right there to guide them.
And what's so interesting is that before even defining their new identity, God first gives them a spiritual toolkit, you could say. These are the practical tools to navigate not just this challenge, but all the hardships that were still to come. This was preparation for life.
And the guidance they receive is just so simple, but incredibly profound. This verse lays down two foundational pillars for any believer facing a trial. And it's also a divine promise. When you have patience, God is with you. He's there providing support and help.
So let's break this down a bit. Sabr, or patience, it's not just passively waiting around. It's an active endurance, it's fortitude. And salah, prayer, is that direct line to seek the strength you need. You got to remember, these verses were preparing the community for very real trials on the horizon, battles like Badr and Uhud, where they would face immense loss. Now here's something that is a total game changer. The passage completely reframes the concept of death in the service of truth. By saying that martyrs aren't really dead, but are alive in this special, honored state with God, it basically removes the ultimate fear. This empowered the community like nothing else, strengthening their resolve to stand for what's right no matter what. So once those tools for resilience are in place, then the divine guidance gives this community a profound and unique identity. This is the moment they're really given their mission, their name. This concept is just so crucial. Wasat. It translates to the balanced or middle nation. It's an identity that's all about moderation, about justice, and about steering clear of extremes. After changing the Qiblah, they were now positioned both physically and spiritually as this central community for all of humanity.
But, this new title wasn't just for show. It came with a massive responsibility. Their whole purpose was to be living examples, witnesses of justice and truth for everyone else. They inherited this spiritual mantle, and their actions were meant to reflect this balanced, moderate path.
And all of this, everything we've talked about, it all builds to the absolute climax of the passage. After setting the scene and establishing the identity, God now reveals what faith is really all about. It's this incredible pivot from the external to the internal, from ritual to righteousness.
Just think, the entire controversy was about direction, turning east or west, right? Well, this verse steps right into that debate, addressing the community's fixation on the physical act of prayer.
And here is that powerful shift. The true measure of your faith isn't the direction you face in prayer. It's about the person you are, the beliefs you hold deep inside, and the character you build through your actions.
This slide really captures the heart of verse 17, which defines al-bir, or true righteousness. It makes it crystal clear that faith isn't just some outward ritual. No, it's a holistic combination of what you believe in your heart and how you act on it. The big takeaway is that belief and action, they are absolutely inseparable.
So what we're left with is a complete framework. These verses didn't just solve an immediate problem about prayer direction, they provided a lasting, timeless blueprint for what it actually means to live a life of faith.
All right, let's just recap the core lessons here. First, the prophet's guidance is the anchor. Second, patience and prayer are the universal tools for resilience. Third, the community's identity is to be a model of justice and moderation. And maybe most importantly, true faith isn't just about ritual. It's a deep belief that shows up in compassionate and principled action. And that leaves us with a final thought, doesn't it? In a world that is so often focused on outward appearances and division, how can this 1400-year-old wisdom, this call for a balance between our inner convictions and our outer actions, how can that guide our families, our communities, and ourselves today?